What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. There is a lot that needs to be talked about, so let's go. First thing I want to talk to you guys about is Larry Nassar, the former doctor for the US American Gymnastics team. Well, he was sentenced to 175 years in prison on Wednesday for multiple sexual crimes, capping an extraordinary 7-day hearing that drew more than 150 young women to publicly confront him and speak of their abuse. Now, the judge who sentenced this was Judge Rosemary Aquilina, who opened her courtroom to all the young women, including several prominent Olympic athletes, and she bluntly made it clear to Nassar, 54, that he would likely die in prison. And she basically said this to him, to his face, at the hearing.
Sir, I'm giving you 175 years, which is 2,100 months. I just signed your death warrant. I find that you don't get it, that you're a danger. You remain a danger. I'm a judge who believes in life and rehabilitation when rehabilitation is possible. I have many defendants come back here and show me the great things they've done in their lives after probation, after parole. I don't find that's possible with you.
Now, he was given the opportunity to address the court before the sentencing and everything, and Nassar, he apologized to all the women and occasionally, turning to them to a courthouse saying, "Your words these past several days have had a significant effect on myself and have shaken me to my core. I will carry your words with me for the rest of my days." And while he said that, many women just groaned and just looked and sobbed, as he himself was sobbing as he was speaking. Now, he was accused of molesting girls for years under the guise of giving them examinations or medical treatment, and some of them were as young as 6 years old. Now, many of them were Olympic athletes, and in November, he pleaded guilty to sexually abusing 7 girls. Now, he's already been sentenced to 60 years in federal prison for child pornography convictions. Now, the case and its ramifications are far from that. It ignited an outrage in the sports world and beyond, leading to the resignation this week to the chairman and several board members of the governing body for the gymnastics and the U.S. team. And last week, the organization cut ties with a private training center at a remote Texas ranch where some of the abuse was occurred. And to add to that, at Michigan State, where Nassar spent many of his years on a facility and treated many of the athletes, an outpouring of political pressure led to the resignation of the university's president, Lou Ann K. Simon, on late Wednesday. So, even though this was like the beginning of Michigan State, as the NCAA on Tuesday formally opened an investigation into the university's conduct. So, there's a lot going on, So Michigan State, what you trying to hide, all that kind of thing. And then along with this, the U.S. Olympic Committee, some of the young women condemned for not doing enough to protect them while they joined the team, had continued on seeing Nassar, and on Wednesday, and say it was now the moment to take action. And moments after the judge, delivered the sentence, the Olympic Committee issued a statement calling on the entire gymnastics team, the U.S. Gymnastics team board, to resign and promise additional steps to investigate Nassar's conduct and ensure that there was not going to be any more harm in the future. And the chief executive, Simon, also apologized for not attending the hearing. I wonder why. And after gymnastics pointedly condemned the USOC for lack of support. Now, the sentence hearing itself is streamed live on the internet and captured national attention for extending several days to allow the victim and to to give the statements from girls and women who all said that they were molested by Nassar over the many years. And many of the victims had not previously identified themselves, and I understand that. And initial plans to conduct after 4 years have been altered for the women to come forward. And among them, like I said, were Olympic athletes such as Allie Raisman, Michaela Maroney, Gabby Douglas, Jordan Weber, and Simone Biles. And the final three victims spoke on Wednesday, and Rachel Denhollander, who was one of the first women to come forward with the public accusations against Nassar, was the last to speak at the sentencing. She said that Larry is the most dangerous type of abuser. He was one who is capable of manipulating his victims through coldly calculated grooming methodologies and presenting the most wholesome and caring external persona as a deliberate means to ensure a steady stream of young women to accept. And when she said that, the judge she praised her and said, "You are the bravest person I have ever had in my courtroom." Now, the sentence was a minimum of 40 years, but after hearing all of these women and how much it affected them, it his prison sentence was extended to 175 years. I, for one, applaud those ladies for coming out and saying what he did to them while they were coming out, coming to be a gymnastic, and it's just, it's terrifying to hear that people are doing this. It's you think everything's all good, hunky dory. When if you got somebody who's a dancer going out to go meet with a dance teacher, or like these ladies, they're gymnastic, and they're going to meet a gymnast coach, you think it's gonna be okay, but there are things that happen while we don't see, but yet these women saw. And ladies, you are amazing, and you are wonderful for coming out and saying those words to bring this man to justice and putting him in prison. So good job. Second thing I want to talk to you guys about is that, Trump, he has no idea what in the world he's doing. And again, he needs to resign, because on Wednesday he went on a pathway to citizenship for a group of younger immigrants who were brought to the U.S. illegally as children. And impromptu that, he was telling reporters at the White House, he was talking about, like, he has protections for recipients of the DACA, or the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, that could be morphed into citizenship over a decade. He said, "We're going to morph into it, and it will happen over a period of 10 to 12 years, gives incentive to a good job, but they've worked hard and done terrifically." And I think that it's a nice thing to have an initiative of, after a period of years, be able to become a citizen. So basically we're looking at about 10 to 12 years. What? And along with that, the comments that Trump suggested, it opened more than just legal status to the DACA beneficiaries as part of the immigration deal, but also provided almost $25 billion for a wall along the USA-Mexican border. So, again, what? And, this is just absurd for him to even do this, and it's so freaking ridiculous and so fucking stupid. And in September, the administration, they announced that it would end the Obama era DACA program, which nearly gave 800,000 immigrants work permits and protection from deportation. And now, according to court documents, as of September 2017, there were 689,800 active DACA recipients across the nation. Now, you think people will understand, like, how all this is going on? Well, let me tell you something. Minutes after Trump made their remark about the whole DACA program being ready in about 10 to 12 years, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham released a statement on Twitter applauding Trump and saying, I've never felt better about our chances of finding a solution for immigration. And their administration gave about 154,000 DACA recipients whose protections are to expire between now and March 5th of 2018. 30 days to apply and pay for a renewal. And the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, they said that 22,000 DACA recipients did not meet the requirements, and that they are at the point of being undocumented immigrants and being deported. I have friends who are in the DACA program. They are out there fighting a good fight. And for you, Trump, to think that it's going to take 10 to 12 years to do this, you're out of your fucking mind. You actually need to listen to what they have to say. You need to go talk to DACA along with your administration. Listen to what they have to say. If you listen, instead of doing this and doing this on Twitter all the time, you won't have to worry about this. You can actually have a good, good somewhat presidency, as you so call it. But we all know it's not a good presidency. And to my friends out there fighting in DACA and fighting a good fight, I'm always here for you guys. I support you guys 100%. I love you guys no matter what. But for Trump and his administration to even think about it's going to take 10 to 12 years to get somebody to actually become a U.S. citizen, just utterly stupid. Lastly, I want to talk to you guys about Logan Paul. If you guys know about the whole Logan Paul video of him at the suicide forest in Japan with his friends and everything along the way, and you know how he laughed about it, that kind of thing, well, guess what? He's coming back, he got off YouTube and he got off social media after like 22 days and apologizing for showing the person who was, who committed suicide in the forest, and thought it was kind of funny and everything along the way. Now Paul, he went and said that he spent the last 3 weeks reflecting on his mistakes and his he was thinking about the subject of the suicide and how it committed to turning the controversy into a teachable moment. Now he posted a video on his YouTube saying like titled "Suicide Be Here Tomorrow," and he said that I know I have made mistakes. And I know I let people down, but what happens when you are given the opportunity to help make a difference in the world? And in this video, he also sits down with John Draper, who was the director of the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, and he also meets with Bob Forrest, who was the founder of the Aloe House Recovery Center. And there he admits he was ignorant on the subject of suicide, and that he has never known anyone to have killed themselves. Along with that, he's also pledged to donate $1 million to various suicide prevention organizations. Here's my thing. People are saying, oh, because he's doing this, we should give him a second chance. People are saying, you know what? He did this. He was in wrong. He should just, ultimately just go away. Here's my thing. Yes, people do make mistakes. And yes, there's times when people deserve a second chance. But when you show a person who has committed suicide and you laugh about it, I just don't see kind of like a second chance. But if you do deserve a second chance, here's my thing. The next video, or actually the videos that you make from now on, you can't be like thinking, oh, this is gonna be like super funny to show somebody getting shot with a gun or something. That's not funny. You gotta be serious the whole time. If you say you are serious about what you want to do, you need to be serious in your videos as well. And for you to think, oh, I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna come back, change everything along the way, everything's gonna be hunky dory. It's not. Trust me, it really is not. But I say, let's just see what happens, people. And, everything on the way. It's 2018. Even though we have screwed up a lot of stuff, some people do deserve a second chance. Okay? And with that being said, I want you guys to tell me what you guys think about the whole naysayer and the Olympic women who came out and said about his their testimonies along the way, Trump and DACA, and Logan Paul and everything along the way. Like, share, subscribe, comment, let people know I am out there for you guys, okay? I love you guys no matter what. I am always giving out the good word, okay? And with that being said, I hope you guys have a lovely day. Peace out.